Another episode, another season. Season number 2. We popping this thing off right with the first episode. You know, you got your guys basically between your boy Anthony, aka Dub, and I'm with my co-host.
Your boy Donovan, aka Dono.
You know what I mean? We here with another guest for the first episode. Our boy,
yes sir,
coming back one more time for this episode. Go ahead and tell me your name, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Ugo, Gucci.
Yeah, how's it feel to go in for your last time, bro?
What you mean?
Like, how's it feel to have your last time ever showing up on a podcast?
Your last appearance on any podcast.
Like, are you nervous?
How do we gonna tell them that it's gonna be us two from now on?
Oh shit! I think this nigga delusional. This is why you gotta go. So back to the business at hand. So today's topic is gonna be bringing expectations into a relationship. Man, that subject goes so deep and it goes so many different various ways. Everybody got their own opinion, their own preference. But you know how we do it on this podcast. Whoever's at this table, we're gonna talk about life as we know it. You know what I mean? So if you got any comments you want to leave or anything, let us know. You got our links for the messages, our email, DM us. And you know what I mean? Put in your input for the next episode, or you just want us to keep it to ourselves and we can talk about it ourselves. But hey, let's get straight into it.
That whole live?
Huh? It's live.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Get into it.
Crazy.
Let's get into it. Expectation in a relationship.
Alright, so we're gonna kick it off with the first question. I'm gonna pose the question. What are some things you feel like you should not bring into a relationship? Again, we say you should feel like you should, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like opinionated.
Yeah, so my preference, what you shouldn't bring into a relationship. I know it's hard not to, but like,
another nigga.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but we see where your head is right now. I'm sorry for whatever you going through, but you know, baggage. You know what I mean? It's hard not to. It comes with the territory, but you shouldn't bring in baggage that will set your expectation of how the relationship, of your new relationship finna go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you can't just get rid of your baggage. Like, you can't just drop it.
Yeah, impossible.
It's impossible to just drop your baggage.
Impossible.
So when we mean, like, when you coming into another relationship, you should be like, you should be aware of your baggage, is what I'm saying. Like, you should take the time to be self-aware, to introspect, and look at what your baggage is. Like, you know, every time somebody says something to you, or like there's like a certain topic of cheating, and that's gonna set you off and shit like that. No matter what they're talking about, it's gonna set you off. You should be aware of that, and then be open to that changing, or to that be growing. Because you can't just drop off your baggage. You have to bring it and know you got the baggage with you, so then you can deal with it.
So you don't base your new nigga or new female off that old baggage that you got from your last
People
relationship.
comparing their new relationship to their ex relationship. People be like, oh, comparing this dude to my ex, or my ex did this, and this dude don't do this, or he do this. Like, that's gonna offset the relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you comparing your new man to your ex, those are two different people. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be the same, especially if you like the new nigga, he trying a bunch. He like, I'm doing this and this and this. It's like, well, my ex did this.
Right.
My ex bought me a car. Bro, I got $20 to my name. I can get you some ice cream.
I'm sure you just love it. I wish you had that goddamn thing.
You know what I mean? You used to fuck with a nigga that had $2,000 and he only gave you $20. But I had $20 and I gave you my $20. You feel me? You know what I mean? It just, it might look different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But come on, bro. You know what I mean? Don't set me at the same standard as your last.
And then, on the inverse of that, it can be like, man, my ex was terrible, and this new dude is like great, but because your ex was it's too good to be true. Because your ex was so terrible, you bringing in all that other stuff because of your terrible ex. When new dude trying as hard as he can, new dude is trying as hard as he can, but he's like, blah blah blah. And he's like, man, I can't win.
Like, I'm saying, like, it's just like simple as that saying. Like, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's gonna live its whole life feeling like it's stupid. So you just gotta like.
Hold on, one more time. This season 2, baby. This season 2. Listen up.
What do you say?
if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it's gonna live its entire life feeling like it's stupid. You can't walk into something and have your expectations, your intentions kind of like pigeonhole somebody and make sure they have to go down this certain path, and they don't do this certain path, they don't love you. That's the whole thing about love languages. If somebody's love language is gift buying, another person's love language is quality time, somebody can buy you a gift every damn day. Like, that's cool, but you ain't never with me. Other person, like, you don't ever buy me shit. Yeah, you always buy my side, but you don't ever buy me nothing. So, like, they just don't ever communicate, they never get there. They're both doing great in their own right, but they just are not meshing together. Because that's not being open-minded, and you're bringing past, I guess you can call it baggage, past baggage, and you're past, like, whatever shit you carry. Whatever, like, not baggage, another word for it. But you bring that in there, and you're kind of, like, what's the word? You know, like undermining. You're undermining like the other person's efforts and attempts because you want them or expect them to act a certain way.
Yeah. Okay. So to propose this question, fellas, once again, it's 3 guys on here. You know what I mean? 3 guys. So let us live.
2.5.
Let us make. What does that even mean?
What you mean?
Let us make it. You know what I mean? We speak it from life as we know it as men. But guys, fellas, so how do y'all feel? Like we said, when you bring your baggage in, you expect this from this nigga because you got it from your last nigga. So how does it make you feel when you get in a relationship with somebody and they're trying to change you? Like, of course, in a relationship, you're going to change. Yeah. Things is going to change about you. You don't mean for the better, though. It's going to be for the better, though. Yeah. So how do you feel when you feel like too much is changing?
He opening up a box right now?
Yeah, facts.
Hey, don't cry on the podcast.
I'm trying not to.
It's Friday. It's getting up.
Season 2, my boy. You can't cry on the podcast.
I'm going to throw it out there. Is that one of the most toxic phrases I've ever said in my life, and believed it, was when I was in that last relationship, and I was like, it's okay. You don't always have to meet somebody you're right for. You can just make the person you're with the person right for you. And that means you can just change them to fit your lifestyle, do what you want. Like, if they don't listen correctly, tell them how they should be. They should be like this. They should talk to you this way. They should act towards you this way. And then they become the person that's perfectly right for you. But that's not how life works. People are people, and we're supposed to change, but not for somebody else specifically.
It's going to be that natural change that you have when you're experiencing life with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
So once you force it.
Once you start a relationship, before the relationship, you're going through life on your own. You got your homies, you got your friends, you got your family, but you're not going through life with a significant other, with somebody that you're like, this is my person. Yeah. So that change, that transcendence to like, man, I'm with this person now, and I got to experience life different than what I was doing before, and now I'm doing it with somebody else, and I got to know how to interact with them, I got to know how to maneuver with them. Yeah. That's going to be that natural change. Yeah. But that forced change is what a lot of people misconstrue to be natural. They're like, man, I can just change them, and then it's gonna be like, it's gonna be good, but niggas is never gonna change, no cap. I'm talking nigga that's not gonna change. You know what I'm saying?
For yourself, you type of nigga that ain't gonna change. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope to be better as a person, but in my values and my morals and who I am, 100%. Like I'm just, that's never gonna change.
If I'm changing my values and shit, my core,
and you're trying to change mine.
Come on,
that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people go in relationships like, oh, he on that. I'm not on it, so I'm gonna change it. It's like, bro,
go get somebody else who's already on that. Like as simple as that. Go ahead, my boy.
That's why it's a phrase I heard when I was young, and I ain't really thought about it until like right now. Like, I heard this shit when I was like young. But like that whole situation where you either physically and mentally changing them to become somebody that you want them to be, or them naturally doing it. That's the difference between love and fantasy. You know what I mean? If you hold on.
You got world building with you.
They bullshit while I was just saying what I was saying. I got to say it one more time.
Can y'all tell me real quick? My bad. Put the food down.
That whole when you forcing somebody to become somebody you want them to become, or them naturally doing it, that's the difference between love, and fantasy.
See, look, I don't know why this is the first thing that popped in my head. It's like going in, you pick up a Spider-Man comic, right? And Stan Lee wrote Spider-Man a certain way. It's like God wrote us a certain way. We have our character, we have who we said, who we supposed to be. You go in there, and you're like, that's not Spider-Man, this weak. Spider-Man should be like, he shouldn't be funny, this nigga should be serious. Yeah. And you go in there and you try to rewrite in the story, this is how it is, blah, 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 blah. That shit never gonna work.
Like people saying Andrew Garfield not the best Spider-Man. It just don't make sense.
Stop talking. Anyway,
you know what I'm saying?
Back to some reality serious shit.
Hey, not fantasy.
You know what I mean? Not fantasy shit. But yeah, that's the difference between love and fantasy. If you're in love with somebody in a relationship, you're naturally gonna change. You feel me? It's not like in love. It's just love, period. Yeah. Like, you just based off your group of friends. Well, I hope y'all will have a good group of friends, some actual real ones. But you gonna look back and everybody done look back at a time when they like when they literally sat in their room and they like, bro, 5 months ago I was a totally different nigga or a totally different female. But I started hanging out with these fools 5 months ago. I done noticed some things like naturally changing in me. I didn't choose for it to change in me, but it naturally changed in me because of the people that I've been hanging with. You know what I mean? The stuff I'm trying to abide by and move by. But when I feel like, but when I see niggas forcing on campus to try to become something that they not so they can fit in with other people, that's a fantasy. You feel me? Like you in a
niggas lame as hell.
Your friendship relationship is based off of fantasy. All y'all come from different backgrounds. Y'all probably got loving parents, got money. Y'all been smart all y'all life. Y'all done got into UT. Now all of a sudden, I hear y'all gangbanging, trapping out the house. Everybody dope dealers, you know what I mean? That's a fantasy. You forced that. You didn't have to have that. That was completely forced.
There's no necessity behind that.
And forced it into your life to change who you want it to be. You know what I mean?
It's also girls that want to have that dress up boyfriend. That your boyfriend, he a regular smuggler nigga. And he proud of that.
Man, nigga having a great life.
He having a great life.
Shorts and t-shirts every day.
So that's who he is. That's how he came up. You know what I'm saying? But you want this nigga to look a certain way in front of other people. You know what I'm saying? You want him to be like, I'm gonna put him in this, and I'm gonna have him do this when I'm around others. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this is just not who he is. So I was like, that same thing with expectation and reality and fantasy. It's like you want everybody to view y'all's relationship as a certain thing that it's not, because of whatever. Like maybe you just care about what other people think, or maybe you just like your boyfriend is not satiating you and you want him to be something else. But at the end of the day, you making your boyfriend something that he's not, it's gonna make him unhappy, and it's gonna make you unhappy.
He ain't never gonna be happy.
Just thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's not gonna be happy.
Both of them at that point.
At that point, he gonna feel like, man, I'm with this girl and I fuck with her heavy, and I wanna make her happy, and she's like, do this to make me happy. He's like, I can't, because she's saying this can make me happy, I'm gonna do it. But it's like at the end of the day, he's feeling some type of way because like this is not me.
It's that dark world, that dark world that you go down a dark path. Yeah. You know what I mean? That whole, I want to make her happy or I want to make him happy, and they're telling me this will make them happy, but I know it wouldn't make me happy, and I know it'll make me change my
morals.
Let me tell you.
Hey, go ahead. Let's start some anecdotal experience.
Let me
we'll start with Donald. He good. Let's get into
reason I just feel like it's being so hard. It's like the trickiest part about that, and the most simplest shit that's gonna make you just tweak your shit. It's gonna indoctrinate you. Is all you gotta do. All I want you to do is listen to me.
That phrase.
All you gotta do is small more. All you gotta.
They make it sound like it's so little.
It's so little.
It's a little task.
It's simple. Like all I ask you to do. It's simple. All I ask you to do is just love me more. All I ask you to do is text me back. All I ask you to do is blah 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 blah. And you hearing all I gotta do? Okay, that's cool. That's simple. I'm tripping. Let me just fit there. Let me get there. Let me do that. And not hearing all I gotta do makes it sound like it's a very simple thing. The simple things is building on each other more and more and more. And every time you feel like you failed the first one, then there's the next one on top of that. And there's the next one on top of that. And then these all just lead up to you feeling like a failure. Like you just ain't been able to do all of these simple things. Okay, well if I can't do the simple things, I can't do the big thing. I can't do this, I can't do that. And like I'm saying, you know there's anecdotal experience behind that one for me because it's just like
no way.
Right? I'll tell you a story later.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you a story later. But like it's like when you leave these, all you gotta do like breadcrumbs, and you're trying to pick them up and you're fucking up on every little breadcrumb, and you get to the end and it's just big ass, just like monster. At this point you ain't been ready, you ain't been defended. You don't even know where you're walking. You're just following breadcrumbs because you don't know what the end goal is. So you're just being led astray. You're losing yourself in top of all this, and you're gaining this idea of I am a failure on top of all this. So it's just a path that's all the way down from somebody trying to change you into what they think you should be. Because in the essence, and while they're focusing on you and trying to get you to be something, they have no eyes on themselves. They're not trying to fix themselves in this whole thing. They're thinking, only way I can be happy is if this nigga treats me better.
Boy, you done made some people mad, boy. You done made some people mad.
Bro, like this shit get me heated, bro.
You done made some people like, I just know that nigga ain't. Yeah.
That's it.
You just made some people mad.
Once you entirely like, we gonna move on. No, we're not. Once you kind of predicate your happiness, your joy, your success on somebody else's actions, you take all eyes off yourself. Because now they are the one that's going to get you from point A to point B, not yourself. It's always going to be yourself. Every time, as soon as you do that, you're deluding yourself. You're like, he going to do it for me. If he's happy, I'm happy. If he doing good, I'm doing good type shit. Or if I'm doing good, she's doing good type shit. It's not like that. So while they're trying to be like, you need to do better, you need to do better, you need to do better, they're never turning the mirror around. They're never looking at themselves and being like, well, I'm doing this wrong. Well, maybe I shouldn't be expecting you to do this because, that's not how you are. I shouldn't ask you not to be a friendly nigga if you are a friendly nigga. I know it's a lot of y'all out there that say y'all love some nigga who gonna be like, I'm saying, he gonna be,
you want a charismatic
asshole, yeah.
But they don't know what comes with being a charismatic.
You can't get that charismatic asshole, bro. That's not.
If you
don't mix. That's like oil and water, bro. It don't go together.
If you're charismatic, everybody want to be around you. You're gonna be able to talk to people well. Because you charismatic. Right. So you can't be sitting there like, why my boy charismatic?
Look at him talking to all these motherfuckers. I bet all these hoes want
It's like, because he's charismatic, people want to be around him.
I mean, that's what you feel for. Obviously, other people gonna want him around too. That's just how it is.
That's why I'm like, I remember someone said, when you love something, you admire it. And you want to cultivate it so you can admire it more. If you find somebody who's charismatic, if I found a girl who was charismatic, I'm not going to try to just hog all that for me and get all the charisma and shit like that, because charisma doesn't just get applied to one person. It's a general thing. I'm gonna want to get her in places where she can be that, she can flourish. I can see her. If we go to some event, she talking to everybody love her. I'm like, okay, that's my girl. Like that's dope. Look at her doing her thing. Look at her doing her thing.
That's like signs of a healthy relationship.
Facts.
It's like when you see somebody being them, and you're like, man, I love that. That is dope. Like you see them being them in a group of people, or seeing them being them, like wherever they are. You're like, man, I love that. That's dope. But signs of an unhealthy relationship is when you get done being yourself and you get done, say, like, you're charismatic. You get done being charismatic in a group of people, and your girl's like, why was he talking to everybody like that? Like, why was he so friendly? Why was he so
Because I'm at my best. Yeah, because I'm at my best.
Like, you have a whole argument with being yourself.
That's like finding a beautiful ass bird, beautiful dove out in the nature. Like, man, that thing is so beautiful. I just love watching it. Let me grab it and put it in a cage and stick that cage in my back, in my trunk. So you can watch it whenever you want to.
Say it again for these niggas in the bag.
That's a trap.
Niggas feelings, bro.
That's a trap.
These niggas
feelings need to be
heard. I ain't gonna lie, they gonna cancel that. Nigga, we the first season back. That's how you gonna do it.
I ain't gonna lie, this shit.
These niggas gonna cancel it.
What I'm like is taking this beautiful thing that you was admiring, and then you're grabbing it, putting it in a cage, and putting it where you feel like you should be getting all of that beauty. And the beauty is not the same when it is restricted to a cage, and it's restricted, and it cannot spread its wings. It's not healthy at all for you, because you're watching the thing. Like, you're never gonna get that anymore. If you control it and you restrict it, you're not gonna get that same charisma. You're not gonna get that same happiness. You're not gonna get that same joy, because they don't have it no more now. They've been trapped. The bird not gonna sing no more.
I was just finna get to that. I was just finna get to that. When you do that, trap the bird in the cage, like my man saying, check me out.
Your bag, bro.
When you put that nigga in a cage, and then you go back to the cage every day, day by day, and you wondering why the bird's dying, why the bird's giving up, why the bird not giving you the same energy. It's because it can't flourish in that cage. You trapped it. It feels trapped. It can't be itself no more. It's itself when it's in the air, not while it's in the cage. You done changed its setting, and now it don't want to be itself no more. It's trying to change to survive in a cage, not to survive in the air where it usually is. Oh, come on, bro.
Niggas gonna go catch a seawater dolphin. Oh, this thing's so beautiful. Throw it in the freshwater lake. Hell dies. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be admiring it in its nature. And if you want to be around it, you get into their space. You get into their nature, and you watch them where they are.
See, adapt with them, and y'all grow together, or leave it alone.
Or admire from distance.
Stop forcing it.
And that's why when you bring those expectations to the relationship, trying to look back in, that's when you bring those expectations to the relationship, you're creating something that is not real. That's a fantasy. It's like, man, my man's gonna do this, my man's gonna be this, and when he's around people, he's gonna act this way, and then all the way over there, he like, I'm just not on that. Like that's just not it. That's what creates discord in a relationship. That's what creates like all that arguments, all that stuff. You bring those expectations in. You know what I'm saying? And
you're making a toxic environment to where that person cannot thrive.
And we not sitting here saying that your relationship can't be healthy, it can't change, and y'all can't talk about things that y'all don't like. Like, because, like, say, like, your man is cheating and he out there talking to other girls. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, damn, like, is that somebody, you know, because he's a known cheater. But we talking about expectations. Your man is doing everything he needs to do, but you are just a bearer of just jealousy.
Thanks.
You know, and he's like, that's the expectation you want. You don't want him to talk to other people because you're jealous.
And these expectations are here because of prior trauma, how past people have done you, and everything like that. Like, it's not saying you shouldn't have expectations, period. Like, if I want to be in a monogamous relationship, I would expect for my significant other not to have sex with nobody else. That's like
that's baseline.
This is like baseline, like definitional. And again, when you have these expectations, I would also communicate that. I can't expect them to reciprocate that. If I tell them and come to them, I'm like, I would like to have a monogamous relationship. I would expect you. I would hope you don't do that, because they might come into it thinking, I don't give a fuck. You can do what you want. So I'm gonna do what I want.
You gotta go into a relationship with an open mind always. Everybody does it. It's a human thing to do, but everybody sits here and be like, what's their perfect person? What's your perfect girl? What's your perfect man? What's your preference? Your perfect preference. You know what I mean?
Perfect preference.
At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, the person that you fall in love with is not gonna have everything on that checklist. Okay. They might be missing one thing or two things, but you gotta be able to sit there and look at all your expectations and sit there and think and be like, which one of these I have to have, and which one of these I can like. He can get by on. What do I need most? You know what I mean? And that's how you could dictate who you could be with, bro.
Yeah, let's go back to that Ken and Barbie. Like, you want that Ken dress up boyfriend when it's like we're human beings. You don't get that Ken dress up. We don't get that perfect guy. And I'm not saying that niggas need to be out here disrespecting girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is not what we're saying. We're not saying that he. Like, obviously, bare minimum respect, love.
Come on,
like,
y'all.
Not loyalty. Like, that's all that stuff is bare minimum. But what I'm saying is, like, man, I want my man to be 6'5". This man is like in love with you. Will do anything for you.
Anything.
He's not 6'5" though. And it's like, at the end of the day, I don't got a problem because, you know what I'm saying, I'm 6'4".
Keep going.
I had to.
Man, come on.
I had
Come
to.
on, get back to it.
My bad. But what I'm saying is like,
keep going.
6'2".
You keep going.
Come on, bro.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? 6'5".
6'5", Aki, 250.
And so, when I lost my damn train of thought.
You trying to joke and shit. Look, okay, but while you get it back, I'm gonna hit this point right here too. Is that, like, again, you're gonna have expectations. It's how life moves, and the most important part of that, when I said like being self-aware and understanding them, is that if you have expectations that a nigga's supposed to be, again, we're speaking from heterosexual males, how we go about it. Say, like, you're expecting like your man to be like, he don't want to talk to girls. Like, he's like real. You're the only girl he like talk to. He don't have a girlfriend and shit like that. That's cool. If you tell him that, and he has similar expectations, and y'all move the same way, it's perfectly fine. If y'all are on the same wavelength, same page, that's cool. But you have to communicate that. And if you find out you have different expectations than the other person, you don't try and change their expectations. And be
Get out of there.
Exactly. You shouldn't be like, that's not how you do love. That's not how you do relationship.
You don't fly a jet. You don't fly a jet and see a fucking missile coming at you like, I think I can shake it. Let me try to shake it first. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? See if I can get away from it. You know what I mean? No, your ass is supposed to eject immediately.
You gonna get one,
that missile fucking coming. Cause your ass go, you might dodge it if you cold enough. You might dodge it one time, and then you might get lucky the second time. But that third time, that bitch gonna blow you the fuck up. You know what I mean? And it's the same way, bro. Stop trying to change these folks, cause y'all gonna have that one big fight. Y'all gonna make it through. Y'all gonna have that second big fight. Y'all might make it through if y'all fucking lucky. But that third one, shit. That third one might hit it. Yeah, and then your relationship gonna blow up when you should have ejected from the beginning. Now both y'all times wasted. Now both y'all changed. Y'all not the same people y'all was. Both y'all hurt. And it was a waste of time.
I think people are starting to misinterpret what getting to know somebody is. That's what the whole dating process is. You get to know them, you get to understand them, and you don't get to know the things you're gonna have to get used to. Like, you're not dating this person to find out, okay, I'm going to have to put up with this, I'm going to have to put up with that. You find out early on, you have these conversations, you find out they don't understand how to communicate correctly. They don't communicate the same way you do. They have different expectations. That's when it's respectful, cool, I fuck with you, I like you and all that. But it doesn't seem like we have the same morals, we don't have the same foundations, we're not going to do well together. Let's drop it here so we don't get in love with each other and all that. And then when we have to drop it later, inevitably, because we don't work together well, now it hurts more. Now I'm stuck and all this extra shit.
And then y'all fucked up when y'all have y'all's first sex.
That's when you really fucked up.
Come on, man.
You have the first sex.
You have the first sex. When you do the sex for the first time.
And they committing that act of sex.
Let's be real. That's the thing that be clowning us to, you know what I mean? That be like keeping us from realizing that this not the person that's supposed to be with.
Pussy with.
You know what I mean? They like, hey, that shit.
Yeah,
that shit good. You know what I mean?
That shit good. People like, I understand that she's terrible for me.
But hey, she bad. That she bad.
Know me.
That she can.
What you went home? What you mean, my boy? What you mean, my boy?
Look, your homeboy come there. He complained about her. He talk shit about it. I'm like, what the hell, bitch? You kicked out, right? He was like, what you mean, my boy? I was like, what you mean? Like, nah, nigga, she stayed. I beat it. You know what I mean? I beat them chicks. I take it out on her. I was, get your toxic ass on. Nigga,
Watch out.
Toxic ass shit.
Bro, one thing that I do hate is people. I just hate entitled people in general, but people who are entitled in relationships. Meaning that, like, man, they think they deserve something. Yeah. They deserve, like, a certain standard. Like, we just not all human beings. I hate, man, I done been through, you know, my, like, girl that's entitled. And I'm just like, man, like I said, I'm never gonna change. I'm never gonna change. I'm a simple nigga. I wouldn't say.
Just let y'all know who out there listening. you ever see him, you best to know what you dealing with.
I'm top of nigga. I wear the same film every day.
You get what you get.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna change. So it's like, bro, you gotta do this and this. I'm just like,
I'm literally not gonna change.
I was like,
this fit you see me with, I'm not gonna change.
The same fit. I hop on this hoe again. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the same shit. Same
thing. Why niggas say, yo, he not coming back.
Bro, when we gonna keep this nigga out, bro?
Anyway, with the closing remarks,
man, what I'm saying,
we got these closing remarks. Any last things I want to say to the folks, real quick?
I just think the overall message I like to convey, wrap it up, is you communicate these two things. Y'all see y'all on two different points. You do it early on. You don't think of how you can change that. You don't think of how you can get these like two places to meet in the middle. Typically, you should just let it go. Let it go. If they're far enough outside of your morals, far enough outside of what you can deal with, they're deal breakers. Let it go. And that's what getting to know people is. That's what communication is. And that's what cooperation is. That's all I have to say.
And closing remarks.
Shit, I don't got too much to say.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Well,
shit, I don't got too much to say.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in for another episode.
You really not gonna listen to talk?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Season 2. We popping it off, you know what I mean, with this episode right here, episode number 1 of season 2. We appreciate all the support that we got from the previous season. Let's pop it off again. Let's do this again. Let's make it bigger. Let's spread it. We're going to try to do something way different this season, man. But, hey, appreciate y'all, boys. Yeah, that nigga not coming back. That nigga, he can't come back. But anyway, it's your boy, Space in Between, boy, A-Dub.
Ugochi. That's it.
And we signed it out again.
And me too.